Dominic. I'm just trying to do my chemistry project.
You don't say.
Yeah, it's on this thing called Tabun Gas. It's a chemical weapon.
Oh.
And basically, I'd like to tell you what it is, and where and when it was created, and what it can do, and maybe possible future uses of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Jake, what is this? This looks way too fancy for me.
Well, Dominic, let me explain it. This is the chemical makeup of Tabun Gas. You see, it's got 11 hydrogens, 5 carbons, 2 oxygens, 2 nitrogens, and a single phosphorus. And, well, despite it being a chemical weapon, it actually has some innocent origins.
Oh.
You want to go check it out?
Let's do that.
Well, first we got to build the time machine.
Let's go.
Dominic, where are you? I need help making the time machine.
You call this a time machine?
Well, you got to build it first.
Do you have any tools?
I got fists.
That works.
Hey, that's pretty good.
You really think it'll work?
Well, there's only one way to find out, right?
Yeah. Now that we're in the time machine, where are we going? When are we going?
I'll show you. We're going back to 1936 Germany. That's when Tabun Gas was first created.
So Jake, why are we even here in the first place?
Well, we're looking for this guy. His name is Gerard Schrader. He's the guy who first made Tabun Gas.
That's really nice, but is it the same guy as this? You know, the guy that we already had a picture of. You didn't have to draw him.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really have to do that.
Right, so why would he even make such a terrible thing?
Well, the thing is, Dominic, he was actually trying to help people, you know? He wasn't trying to make this nerve gas that would hurt a lot of people. He was actually trying to make a pesticide to keep plants safe from other insects, so they would grow up and people could eat them.
Okay, that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. So, if it was such a good pesticide, then how did they end up using it as a poison weapon?
Well, Schrader realized that after him and his assistant had been working with it for a while, the vapors alone had given them shortness of breath and contraction of their pupils.
I bet they used this a lot in World War II.
Well, the Germans actually stocked up about 12 tons of Tabun gas for the war, but they were too scared to use it because further through the war, the Allies took out the German Air Force, so they were scared that the Allies could much more effectively bomb them with this Tabun gas.
Okay, but how do we even know that they had this stuff if they didn't use it?
Well, when the Allies started storming across Europe, they figured out that the Germans were stockpiling this Tabun gas stuff at different ammo depots.
Okay, so you told me that people are really affected by this, but how do they even get affected by this?
Well, based on my drawing here, you can see that it can be brought into somebody's body through inhalation, by just through their eyes, or just by touching them.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's really terrifying because it makes it really hard for first responders to even help people who are affected by this. Because to even get anywhere close to them, they have to be wearing these airtight suits with breathing apparatuses, and that's not even to be able to treat them in the first place.
Did they even have those back then? So, once this is in my body, how does it harm me?
Well, Dominic, I drew up a list to help us. Tabun gas can cause runny nose, tight chest, drooling, sweating, nausea, vomiting, cramps, defecation, urination, twitching, inability to walk, difficult breathing, and lastly, death.
Oh my.
It pretty much just wrecks your nervous system and leaves you with no control of your body.
I hate it when that happens.
Me too.
Doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right.
Oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, this doesn't feel right at all.
Oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh. This doesn't feel right.
Oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right.
Oh, that doesn't feel right. How can first responders assist people with Tabun poisoning if you can't get anywhere near them?
Treatment of Tabun gas must be given to people immediately after they come into contact with it. These people who help them need to be wearing special stuff called Level A protective clothing. If you don't know what Level A protective clothing means, that's alright, I can explain it. The first thing you need is a self-contained breathing apparatus. You might have heard of these like scuba tanks, but these ones aren't necessary for going underwater. Next, you'll need a protective suit, 2 pairs of gloves, coveralls, a hard hat within the suit, and 1 more suit just for good measure.
Wow, that seems like a lot.
It's not easy to tell between different nerve agents. They seem to always look like a clear odorless liquid, with sometimes displaying a faint odor. So you have to assume that you're working with the worst kind of chemical weapon, even if it's not that effective.
Why Tabun gas?
Since the creation of Tabun gas in 1936 by Gerard Schrader, there have been many different nerve agents that came after it, which means Tabun gas would naturally be the easiest to create since it was the first created. So it would be the easiest for maybe a terrorist organization to get their hands on it.
Are there any recent events where nerve agents have been used?
In 2013, there was evidence found showing that the Syrian government was using chemical weapons such as sarin gas and VX gas on its own civilians. Since they were able to get a hold of these more complex weapons, it can only be assumed that there are different organizations and governments around the world with access to nerve agents such as Tabun gas, since it's much easier to create, like I had said previously.
Do you think people will ever use Tabun in the future?
With the rise of terrorist organizations such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS, they have shown that they have no morals and will do whatever they can to kill or scare innocent people. This could involve using nerve agents such as Tabun gas. It being the easiest nerve agent to create, it might be the easiest for them to get their hands on.
So Jake, what you're telling me is that Tabun gas is the best chemical weapon that there is.
That's exactly what I'm saying.